Comrades, I want to bring the royal lady. The lady who will bring home Central Bastille to the Labour Party again. I want you to help me to welcome the royal lady. The lady who has been the first person since Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw to win every single seat in every single box in Central Bastille. Put your hands together for Marcella. Comrades, welcome Marcella Liburd.
Natural beauty, you know. Yeah. No, I've never been someone shy until I seen your eyes. Still I had to try. Yeah. Oh yes. Let me get my words right and then approach you. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to. You'll never have to cry. No. I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind, no.
Comrades and friends of labor, brothers and sisters, those of Taylors and East Bastille, let me hear Central Bastille massive. All right. All the time, Central and I, we have one big love affair. Nobody tall could get between us. We have a big love affair going on in Central Bastille. Comrades, PA 59 is blocking somebody's driveway. PA 59 blocking somebody's driveway. We want to express condolences to Ambassador Delano Bat on the passing of his father, Frank Gordon, who was laid to rest today, and the rest of their family. Also to the family of Kay Woods and to the family of the late Taximan Johnson from Halfway Tree. We want to continue to pray for Teacher Annie, for Kathleen Thomas, Ingrid Richards, Millicent Joseph, Ava Lawrence, Shirley Griffin, and we want to add to our prayer list Jasmine Smith, and from Constituency 8, Judith McLean and Dora James, both of whom are in the hospital, and all those other persons who are hospitalized. We want to congratulate our under-20 female footballers who have qualified and are moving on to Puerto Rico, which is the next leg of the qualifiers. And we want to say special congratulations to the management, Judith Gomes, Lester Morris, Miss Burke, and Samuel Phipps. I want to announce that Central Bastille camp is on from August 19th to 23rd. The forms are already available. You can check Massey's House. It's still $10. So the people of Central Bastille, children ages 5 to 12, the camp is on. Get your forms and register early. Comrades, we're here tonight to support the Honorable Earl Asim Martin. Only last Saturday, I went to visit a comrade in Central Bastille who said to me that she got her electricity bill for $117. And when she went in to pay, it was adjusted to 70. 70. 70. We have to be grateful to Asim Martin and to Labour, because you know what it's like with fossil fuel all over the world, what the price is like. But this government is a caring government, and we promised that we will reduce the price of electricity, and Asim has done just that. So he have a short-term plan to help reduce the price of electricity for you, the ordinary people of this country. $70 she pay now for electricity bill. At the same time, he's also making sure that we get alternative energy, so in the long run, we can further bring down our electricity costs to do business and certainly to serve our homes. And you notice something, Newton in the final four. I'm not, I say, maybe, I'm not abusing Newton. I'm sorry for Newton. First time for a long time, Newton in the final four. You know why Newton in the final four? You know who the president is? From the time he take over the president, Newton gone in. Newton people take note. Try your best. We don't want this country to go in. From the time that he take over as the president, Newton gone in. Newton in the final four, first time for a long time. Take note, Newton people. Asim also doing a fantastic job repairing the roads. In McKnight, our roads are all paved off. In Dorset and in some parts of Shadwell. Thank you, Asim. But we still want some of new road done. Okay? Don't forget. We're coming back. But we want to thank him for what he's done so far. Doing a fantastic job. And so we are here tonight to support Asim in number one. Because really, there's nobody else. There's nobody else. There are two issues, however, I want to deal with very quickly. And one has to do with workers of this country. You must have heard that in the last couple of weeks, we've been having some dismissals up at Lutron. A lot of the women, couple of the women up there have been dismissed and sent home. But these people, even up to today, but these people, they have their children to take care of. And as a caring government, we have to look into this. And as someone who understands what it's like to be a single mother, we have to look out for these women who are themselves single mothers. And so I've asked and requested the Ministry of Labor to look into this matter to see what is happening up at Lutron, because we cannot afford to have our women being sent home willy-nilly. And I want you to understand that right now, your government is also looking at the labor code, because the law that we have, the act is called the Protection of Employment Act. Protection of employment. But look as though the workers ain't getting so much protection under that. Protection of employment means that the employers must have protection, but it means the workers must also have protection. And so we as a caring government and as a workers' organization, we are looking at the labor code to ensure that there's greater security for workers and that they can be sent home willy-nilly as they can do right now under this act. We want our employers to do well, but we want our workers to do well too. There must be some balance there, and right now there's not that balance. And as a caring government, we have to look out for you, the workers, because the employers have their union, the chamber, and they're looking out for themselves, but they want the workers to hang on. They have their organization that looks out for them, and as they have a right to, but you must have somebody looking out for you too. And so this government will be your voice, because there must be balance out there for the workers in this country. And that is why soon you will have your unemployment benefits, because you have a government that's looking out for you. And that is why you got your long service gratuity, because you have a government that's looking out for you. And listen good, and you can hear nobody else talking about this long service gratuity, you know. Nobody else, because they don't care. They don't care about you. So you have to stick with your caring government who looking out for you. Unemployment benefits, ensuring that the labor code has some balance in it so you can have some job security, and making sure that you get your long service gratuity. This is a government looking out for the workers of this country. And so you and your families would have to ensure that whenever the time comes, you make sure that labor remains the government in power. The next thing I want to quickly talk about is these boundaries. I want you to know that what we are doing is constitutional. It is constitutional within the four walls of the Constitution. The Constitution says that the boundaries must be reviewed every 2 to 5 years. You know that what we're doing also is no secret. This is no secret. You know that in 2009, we tried to change the boundaries. It's no secret. And you know that we were taken to court. And whatever technical problem the court came up with, we were not able to change the boundaries. So it was always on our agenda for this term. You know that. That's not any secret. You also know that one of the things they said is we were changing the boundaries in 2009 because we couldn't win on the old boundaries. That's what they said. But guess what? We had to fight the election on the old boundaries, and the rest is history. And they're saying the same thing again. But you know, new or old boundaries is labor all the way. But we have to carry out our constitutional requirements to look into the boundaries, and that's exactly what we're doing. And the Constitution says that the constituencies must have equal or near equal inhabitants. Inhabitants. Because each representative must have about the same kind of work to do. You can't have one representative looking after 2,000 people and one representative with the same pay looking after 6,000 people. That is why they're saying there must be equity, so that the representatives should be doing equal work in their various constituencies. And so we are making sure that that happens. So we go on to the census. The census gives you population. Please note that what the constituencies speak to is inhabitants, not electorate. So when you go to the population census, the numbers you get there include people who vote, and it includes people who don't vote, because they have to count everybody. Everybody must be counted. So in that number are children who can't vote, because you have to be 18 to vote. So it's not about electorate, it's about inhabitants, which include people who can vote and people who can't vote. And then they also have to talk about the census is incomplete. Nonsense. The census is complete, but the census is preliminary. But I want to give you a joke. They gave Juicy Byron an assignment in 1991 to do a census. And up to now, where that census be? Maybe I need to ask him. Up to now, that census ain't complete from 1991 that they gave him to do. But you have a census that is complete. It is preliminary, but there's nothing wrong if it's preliminary. Even the World Bank and those big institutions, they take matters and do projects based on preliminary data. So this is nothing new. If it's preliminary, it's nothing new. The other thing you have to understand is this. A census takes place every 10 years. Every 10 years. So if you take PAM, they change the boundaries twice. In 1983, they changed the boundaries. That boundary change was probably done in a census done in around 1980 and 1981. Okay? In 1988, they changed the boundaries again. Well, what census you think that the one? The same census. The same census. Where you think that the population ain't grow between 1983 and 1988? Ain't grow in between there. But it's the same census report they used to change the boundaries. Twice. Twice. No consultation with the people. No consultation with parties. No consultation with nobody. They just change the boundaries. And you hear it now. Oh, these boundaries changes gonna affect candidates. Yes. The boundary change gonna affect candidates for PAM and candidates for Labour and candidates for whoever. They're gonna affect all candidates. Well, when they changed the boundaries in 1983, they didn't affect candidates. They didn't affect no candidates. They changed the boundaries in 1983 and candidates were affected. So it's nothing new When you change boundaries, candidates get affected. Candidates of both sides will be affected. The candidates from the one side going to be affected. But elections are about people. So let's all go to the people and try to get the majority of the people to vote for us wherever the boundaries are. Because we had to fight elections and the change boundaries in 1983. And we're in ball. And we had to fight elections and the change boundaries in 1988. And we're in ball. So what they balling for? What they balling for? Because we're doing what is constitutionally required in changing the boundaries. And they don't even know what they want. And they get outsmarted all the time, you know. Because with all the protests, CCM, so they're protesting, wherever they're protesting, they make sure that they put in the proposal, you know. They make sure they put in the proposal. So the only party without a proposal in there is PAM. Outsmarted again. CCM put in the proposal and CCM argue tooth and nail to try to get what they want. Argue tooth and nail. NRP put in a proposal. Labour put in a proposal. Only PAM ain't put in none. Trust me, it matter what you do, they're just not taking part in nothing. That is the modus. When we had constitutional reform, they found a reason not to take part. And when we had electoral reform, you would remember, they found a reason not to take part. So they just walk out there and taking part in nothing that Labour had. We may sorry for them. May vex with them. So they had no proposal before the commission. None. And so you go forward with what you have. Even NIP put in a proposal. Even NIP put in a proposal. PAM ain't put in none. So what they balling for? And then they go out there and they say that the government illegal. So the government shouldn't be changing the boundaries. Well, the government illegal. What you collecting the government money for? Eh? What you collecting the government money for? If the government illegal, stop collect the government money. They don't even know what they want. They don't even know what they're saying. I hear Hamilton on some interview with Joni. And Joni said, well, if the government illegal, how come they could go in the house? Can they go in the house and pass laws as they did last week and so on? Hamilton said yes. So they didn't know what they want. The government illegal, but he's still saying the government could go in the house and pass the laws. But as much as they're saying it's illegal, tell them to leave the illegal money that they're collecting every month. But that is what they are. You can't trust them. You can't trust them at all. And the main architect and speaker for them now is Timothy Harris. He's the main speaker. When he was asked, well, what he think about what PAM do within a confidence motion in 81 and 82, he said he wasn't a PAM then. He wasn't a PAM then. Well, make up your mind. He wasn't a PAM then. So I suppose he's a PAM now. And out there, making more noise. I never seen a political party nowhere in the world, don't care what system you have, communist, socialist, democratic, that ain't got a leader. This is the only one ain't got a leader. 3 months ago, Timothy Harris come on and say, oh, they don't choose the leader. They just ain't announced it yet. Well, up to now, they ain't announced it. And when they went North America the other day, somebody asked Sean Richards if they win, who's going to be the leader. He said they got to go and vote on it. They got to go and vote on it. That is how much confusion they have in. Because I want you to understand what's happening in this country now. What is happening here is that what you have is horse trading. Where you ain't a horse, you are human beings. Horse trading and jockeying. That's what's going on in this country. So they're not looking after your interests. They're jockeying for positions. Timothy saying, well, if I try to deliver 7 to you, oh, you got to make me the prime minister. Jockeying for positions going on. No interest in you, the people of this country. And to confirm it, he comes on the ear and says, while he was chairman in 2010, chairman of the party, he run for Harris again. Could you imagine that, comrades? The height of hypocrisy, the height of deceit and treachery. How could you be chairman of a party and say you're running for your own Harris again? It means you deceived the people in the party. You deceived the conference who put you to be the chair. You deceived the executive. You deceived the people who you went out and say you want in on a Labour ticket. And you deceived the country. Total deception. And that is why we are saying they must resign. Because they deceived the people of the country. And he has come out and blatantly said to you that I deceive you. That's what he's saying. I deceive you. You must call on him every day and rigorously and without fail. He and Sam Conda must resign. And let me tell you something, don't be fooled. The PAM people don't trust them. Because they say if they could do their own, so what they going to do with us? What they going to do with us? Call on them to resign. Trust will be an issue in this election. You can't vote for people who you don't trust. You have to trust people to vote for them. And they must resign because we have our own people to run against them in by-elections. We got good Labour candidates to run against them in by-elections. And so let them resign and let's have those by-elections so that we can put up with good Labour people to run against them, to represent us in Parliament. Because I don't know who they're representing. I don't know who they're representing in Parliament. That is why they have to resign. And so, comrades, I want to say to you, keep the faith. Keep the faith with Labour. Keep hope alive with Labour. Build your confidence and stay confident in Labour. Because Labour is your only hope. And Labour is your only voice. And so tomorrow, you come down to Bank Street in your red, and in your numbers. And you come to Bank Street. And we will be there alongside Labour picnic them where they be. Alongside Labour picnic them in Bank Street tomorrow to give you the rally of your life. Don't miss it. Special packages out there for you tomorrow. So come tomorrow. All the workers on the industrial estate, come down tomorrow in your red. Wherever you walk, come in your red. Tomorrow on Bank Street, 5:30. Come Bank Street tomorrow. Full confidence. Full confidence. Full confidence. Let me see you put your fist in the air. The fist in the air. Full confidence. This is the face of battle. Have a good night.